Today I want to talk to you about the way of thinking which a lot of us have. In my personal opinion, almost all of us have it, but some people do it more than the other. I want to talk to you about creating an opinion without having background knowledge or background experience about the topic or about the situation. So in the first level, we will not be talking about people. We will be talking about way of thinking. What I think about it, why do I think that is wrong, and stuff like that. Let's go. But obviously before we begin, I have to tell you that this is Yury Experience, and here I share my various experiences about different topics. I do 2 videos per week, Mondays and Thursdays. If you will enjoy this video, please drop a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Based on my experience, based on my knowledge, it is not that difficult to create an opinion. It is not that difficult to look at situation and think, okay, I think that this situation is that and that. You see a natural disaster happening somewhere and you are thinking, ooh, how bad it is for people to be in there, to live near this natural disaster. Maybe their life will become very, very difficult, or maybe even it will stop soon. Or you walk on a sidewalk and you see on a different sidewalk a pair of people, one person and another person, and they like holding hands and going like all happy and stuff like that, and you are thinking, how nice, love. Or you are thinking, I hate these people, I'm jealous and I hate them. So basically, on a lot of occasions you see something, you think about it a little bit, you maybe catch your own feelings about this topic, about the situation, about what happened, about the person, about the appearance, about whatnot, and based on that you have an opinion in your head. Sometimes conscious, sometimes unconscious. However, I think, and I actually talk about that a lot, but I think that background knowledge is sometimes needed in order to create a better opinion or a more objective opinion, or an opinion which will not hurt others with its existence. And here I'm putting emphasis on knowledge, not on experience. Mainly not on experience, but specifically on knowledge, on something that you can learn, or maybe some rules, or maybe science, or maybe philosophy, or maybe psychology, or maybe whatnot, but specific knowledge. Not assumptions, not experience that you gathered, so something that you observed from other people or from other situations. No, knowledge, facts, or as close as we come to facts. So if you don't have actual knowledge about the topic and you still share your opinion without being able to overthink it in the future, or without being able to accept critique in the future, then I think that your behavior is damaging for society as a whole, or maybe damaging for your group of friends as a whole. Let me give you a couple of examples. Coronavirus, great example, where in my personal opinion the main the main emphasis shall be on scientists, or especially on scientists that can actually explain what they are studying, not scientists that cannot do it. It's a pity, but there are a lot of scientists that are not very sociable or don't have high level of social skills, which is okay, but it doesn't help other people to understand what they are talking about. Still, since we had coronavirus, there were so many freaking opinions about pretty much everything from pretty much anybody. I personally discussed once, and I still think it wasn't a great idea, I discussed once law with one person on Instagram. Yes, I know it wasn't the best idea. This whole discussion happened shortly after this prohibiting of people entering the different locations if you don't have vaccine or tests of not being ill. And there was an assumption from that person that it is illegal to do that, and I told that person it is legal to do that based on different laws, and both that person and me are not really lawyers or whatnot, but at least I can Google a little bit better. I'm not good in this situation either. I also maybe did something that I shouldn't do, but that person didn't do better. And there were a lot of people in the comments who were like, yes, you're right, they cannot do it to us. Coronavirus doesn't exist. There were also such people. So yes, this whole topic of coronavirus was a crazy hurricane of opinions and non-doctor opinions, non-scientist opinions, which shall be more important in these conversations. Yeah, and some of them were present, some of the scientist opinions, but definitely not enough. And definitely not enough people actually looked for these opinions. Another example which is fun in my personal opinion are sportsmen or overall sports. There are so many people who like to sitting on a couch watching TV and like, you cannot play well because I know that you can play differently and it will be better. You probably know these people too, these couch commentators, people who definitely know how to train, how to play, how to whatnot better than the actual specialists in the field, and who don't know, not always, but on a lot of occasions, who don't possess knowledge. They don't possess knowledge, and maybe they don't possess some information that is true about the situation. Maybe that specific player is in a bad state psychologically in that day because of that person's mother died, for example. So yes, there are way more factors that you need to include, that you need to know prior to making a proper assumption and opinion. But on a lot of occasions, a lot of people just like to speak their opinions, just like to put other people down and showing others that they know how to do it better. The last example is actually on the border with experience, but still, in my personal opinion, has something to do with knowledge, with facts. And here I'm talking about behavior of other people and your opinion about behavior of other people. I do talk about context a lot, and context is theoretically based on facts, but let us leave it out of the conversation today. Let's talk about psychology. Let's talk about psychological problems that a lot of people have with their existence. And not all of people do understand what psychological problems they have. But if you come into the life of other person and you are saying you are doing that wrong, you are doing that wrong, that behavior is wrong and whatnot and what else, you can influence person in a bad way. Maybe the way how you try to change that person isn't working for that person. Maybe that person isn't made to be that person how you want that person to be. Maybe your opinion or facts about psychology of this person are just plainly wrong. That is why, in my personal opinion, we shall be very careful prior to trying to treat other people. Being it physiological problems, for example, some person is ill and you are saying, I know the best thing ever for it. Maybe you don't. But also psychological problems, or maybe psychological situations that person has. Maybe that person's anger in that specific situation is not something why that person needs anger management, but that person is just hungry. But these facts, your opinions can make these facts appear darker or wrong or maybe damaging to the people who you are talking with. Overall, I am a person who is a big fan of idea create opinion, have opinions about different problems, different situations, so you are ready when situation arises. But you probably also know that I'm not a fan of the idea create opinion just to have an opinion. So I think that opinion shall be based over something, being it experience or knowledge and whatnot. But if there is some opportunity, some possibility to get some knowledge about this specific opinion, this specific situation, context, person, whatnot, find it, gather it. It is better if your opinion is based on facts. It is even better than if your opinion is based on experience. So I love experience. I like experience, and I think that experience is something that a lot of people can use in order to create better opinions, in order to create better view of the world. But facts, if they are actually facts, or as close as we can come to the word fact, facts are better. I'm sorry about that, but your experience can be wrong. My experience can be wrong. Some other people's experiences can be wrong. Facts is something that kinda on the level it can be wrong. If the fact can be wrong, then it is not the fact. It is assumption, opinion, theory. But if it is a fact, then it kinda cannot be wrong. It is as true as it can be in our world. And except for that, I would like to suggest you to apologize if you are wrong, to tell others if you are wrong and change your opinion, to accept the critique of other people, especially if that critique is based on facts. It is a pity, but based on my experience, based on my knowledge, a lot of people will not say yes, I am wrong when they are wrong. And that, in my personal opinion, is pretty destructive for the society as a whole, but also doesn't help people to trust each other. Why would I trust you if you wouldn't say if you are wrong? Why would I trust you if you always say that you are right? But if you are always right, then maybe I will be always wrong at some situations. Which cannot be true. Per definition, all people are sometimes wrong. And it would be very helpful, again in my opinion, if people would be honest about it. But it's only my opinion. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it is the case, please drop a like and also subscribe to the channel. You can also leave a comment. I will be very thankful if you will do it. Except for that, I see you on Thursday. Have a great week.